Hey everybody, Jason here. Hope you guys are having a great morning. Happy Thursday. So before getting into the account, just wanted to talk a couple minutes, just about like an overall mindset, thankfulness for everything. I am very thankful for all you guys who watch these videos or subscribe to the channel, give me thumbs up, give me words of encouragement, make comments, positive, negative, or even challenging me on some things. It makes me think a little bit a lot of the times. And I just really appreciate you guys. So I wanted to let you know that. Um, and then just as an overall thing, I know a lot of people have lost a lot of account value this last day, couple days. It's been a rough few days, and we're gonna go through this like time after time after time. It's going to happen. Um, but just the fact that we have enough extra money to basically play in the market, a lot of people, I mean, as a pastime for fun. If it's your first year in the market, you're still learning. So even if you're having a rough first year, first month, first 6 months or whatnot, uh, every single time you make a trade, you lose, you win, you learn something, and you kind of tuck that away. And I have all the confidence in the world, no matter where you're at now, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road, you're going to be a much better investor, and you're going to be able to take that skill set and make a lot of money. Um, and the fact that we have the money to do this with is super awesome. I was just looking at this article, and it's pretty insane. 40% of Americans with annual incomes over 100 grand live paycheck to paycheck. That is absolutely insane. It's like people, I can't remember the percentages, something like 75% of people do not have an extra $500 in case of an emergency. And then that's just in the US, where we have abundance. And I mean, we definitely have a ton of opportunity here. Go outside the country, and then you see real paycheck to paycheck and some real bad situations. So I just wanted to take a minute, just to kind of remind anybody who hasn't thought about that, or like if you've never thought about it, like think about how lucky we are. We are like so fortunate. If you've lost $1,000 or $5,000, to be in a position to where you lost $5,000, which is some people's annual income depending on where they live, and you still have a place to sleep and food to eat. Like you don't have any real problems. At least I hope you're not leveraging your house and everything else to crazy levels to where that does affect you. So, but let me get into the account real quick. I'll switch over. So far down today, we are down a whole 5,500 or so. Tesla having a terrible day, but in thinking about this a little bit earlier, so yes, Tesla's having a down day, but we look at the entire week down 6%. And we look at GM for the week, they're down 5.8%. We can look at other automakers. We'll take a look at a couple others real quick. Ford down 6.4% for the week. And this is probably going to be even worse. Let's just check out NIO for the week. And they're down almost 12%, of course, because China, and their elevated risk. So it's not. So Tesla's moving like right along with other automakers. Yes, I completely realize they're not just an automaker, but very in line with that as far as their stock price recently. And then as far as kind of what I'm expecting here, so our last breakout was right about 625. So we definitely see some pullbacks to that point, because we were definitely consolidating before we had this pop up, and now we're on our way kind of back down. Seems to be not too bad today. Better looking than it was this morning or when the market had to open. So right somewhere in this point, I started with this little pop up. I started rolling out some of my put credit spreads, and then I think it was down to like 625 or so when I finally did get everything that I wanted to rolled out and mitigate some risk. Looks like if I had had waited, everything would have turned out just fine. But my crystal ball is out of order again. So the only thing we have expiring, well, I guess that's not true. The only put credit spread we have expiring tomorrow is the 600, 595. And then we have long iron condors or butterflies, excuse me. But I mean, they're worth $2. And let's see, on this one, this is definitely going to be, this is 100% going to be garbage. This is a long iron condor. Unless Tesla breaks out above 700 today or tomorrow. Don't see that. This one is the only thing that's like somewhat likely, or not likely, not 100% almost guaranteed to be a loser. But we would have to see something above 660 by the end of the day tomorrow. And hey, never know. We have the huge pullback. And, Tesla moves crazy down. It can move crazy up. And then, so that's all we have now expiring. Everything else, again, I rolled out, at least a month or so and grabbed some credit there. And then I had some 650s. I actually paid to roll those out. I believe I paid $20 some dollars for 8 contracts. Cost me like $200 to roll those out. Those weren't expiring until July 23rd. But I just wanted to, I'd rather roll those out and be safe than sorry. So as far as next week, let's see, we have all our covered calls. All those are doing well because the stock has dropped on absolutely everything. And then we have 600s, keep those. I did sell some calls this morning, some call credit spreads, because I have the collateral already out for these 5. So I already have $2,500 worth of collateral here. I sold these for an additional $40 a piece. You can see what I collected here, $40 a pop on those. So I was able to collect that additional $40 or $200 cash on these. I don't see it spiking up above $700 by the end of next week, but could be wrong. And if it does, everything else is looking very good. Let's take a look at what we have here. This is a long iron condor, and for this thing to be looking good, we would have to get back above 670 to be in the money, somewhere between 660 and 670. We start to be profitable on this, even if it's earlier in the week, and then between 670 and 690 is where we see real upside. So we have like an $800 upside on each of those if those happen to go up. And let's see, that's a whole shebang for next week. This is our covered calls on our wheel. Tilray, $16. So I think, yeah, we're probably down a couple $100 totally on this guy. But it's pretty neat because Tilray, I've purchased this at $19, $18, $17.50. So you can see our average share price of $18, and our overall return on the stock for what I had to purchase it for. But since we only bought these using cash covered puts, we're only really down like $100 and some, I believe. That's actually, we can take a look real quick. Oh, and there we go. So we are down $184. So we're down $200 on 300 shares that we purchased, well above the current price. Yeah, $16.88 and our average price of, so almost, we're down $2 on our average share price, but only down $1.84, which means we're down about 60 cents. Let's see. Yeah, that would be about right. So not looking too terrible on that. And then, of course, that's something that we're just going to continue to sell covered calls on as time goes on. So this number should come down unless Tilray drops down to $5 or something again, but I don't see that happening. And popping back over to the Robinhood, I think that is about it for today. Keep an eye on everything. Oh, last thing that I did open today was this put credit spread on the S&P 500, the SPY. So every single time I see this, I go ahead and open one up. Last one I believe I opened up must have been here because it was a 631. But every single time I see these drops, in my mind, is a pretty good time to open them, since overall this is what we see, and we tend to pick them up on the little drops here. So if it happens to go against us and we drop down another 10 points, 20 points, something like that, pretty crazy, those guys we can roll out. I open them all up almost exactly a month out, depending on what expiration dates are available. And then every one so far, I've been doing it for a few months here, have just continually, decayed and become positive by expiration. But if we happen to see more pullback, once they become 2 weeks out, I can go ahead and roll those out, grab some credit, and just wait for more money to be printed and pumped into the market. All right, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll do the best to get back to you. It's always best just to post them on the YouTube, in the comments below, rather than Discord. I have been trying to get better about getting into Discord and posting some things and replying to some things, but it's been pretty quiet in there. Mostly, my fault for not being more active. But on YouTube, I usually respond to those comments pretty quickly. And in a few cases, I've made some videos just to respond to somebody's question when it was something difficult to answer. And I think we've done at least a couple live streams just based on some questions in there. So, all right, guys, hope you guys have a great day. Love you, and let's make a lot of money.